We're in. In like Slim, baby. In like Slim. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR whenever you sign up. We're going to make you rich beyond your wildest dreams.
Provided you bet a lot.
If you bet a lot of money and you win, tonight will be a great day for you. Anything else, maybe not so much. Guys, we have a great show for you lined up in the pregame show. We're going to continue to talk Bones as his name continues to be floated out there in trade rumors. If it's the case, does Denver need to start planning accordingly now? Is there maybe an experimentation? You got a week. Do you want to try to play without him for a bit, see if that's a viable option or not? We're going to debate that here a little bit later. We're also going to talk about last night, Luka was a bad man. Luka was a bad man, dropping 53 points in 29 minutes, which is pretty impressive. But more impressive was the trash talk. We're going to talk about where does he rank and where do the Nuggets players rank amongst the most. You don't trash talk that guy. You don't trash talk him. We'll talk about that. Then, of course, we'll do some bets. And I got the fellas with me, man. Two happy individuals, jovial, you might say. The first one is D-Line Co.
Hey, look at me. Look at this smile on my face. The only way to describe me is jovial.
Such a jolly fellow,
I know,
man. He
dude.
really is jolly.
Like a bowl full of jelly over here.
A bowl full of jelly. And then over there, we got Superstar Dev.
We back. It feels like it's been a while, so I'm excited to see you guys. I'm very excited to see the Nuggets play basketball again. And does Jokic respond? Does he respond?
That's the thing. Dude, even one extra day off when you get in the rhythm of this, it's like, you're like, especially after, no.
The bad taste had to linger there. What do you call it?
You said to sit in it.
He had to sit
in it. I'm filthy. I need to be cleaned.
You need to be clean. We did sit in this one for a while. I almost needed it. I would say this one was more of a I needed a little extra. I'm telling you.
You needed to be humbled?
No, I didn't need the experience. I needed a day off. I needed you know what? I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for it. But I'm serious about this one thing. We're kind of joking. One thing we do on the show is we talk about the experience of the fan.
Sure.
The experience of the last few days kind of has been one of those of
bro,
tonight, I'm less excited for tonight's game than I usually am.
Yeah.
And I need to shake the cobwebs off. I need a good feel-good win, Nuggets.
I know. I need someone to just grab me and shake me. And violently snap my neck back and forth until either one, I stop breathing, or two, I remember who it is that we are. This team is.
You know all we need?
What's that?
We need to get back into the winner's lounge.
That's the reminder.
That's the reminder.
We need it back so bad. Tonight, the Nuggets go up against the New Orleans Pelicans, who, do you remember last week when we talked about the Nuggets have a chance to put some distance between them and the Pelicans? The Pelicans have distanced themselves. They are social distancing in the standings of the West. Third last week when the Nuggets played them, they have dropped all the way down to 8th. And another loss tonight might drop them even further.
Is anybody winning games? I swear to God, man, no one's winning. Everyone's losing.
It's so true. Denver's somehow climbing the standings. They're lost 2 in a row. Racing to the top of the West somehow. We also got some bad news early on when we heard Jamal Murray was questionable. Made us very uncomfortable. We weren't happy. But we got some good news. He's available tonight. Jamal Murray will be available. Starters should be coming through any moment. Keep an eye out for that for me, Dev, if you don't mind. The Pelicans are without Zion Williamson. He's been missing quite a bit of time. Dyson Daniels got injured against the Nuggets. Hasn't played since. The Pelicans are now 26-25. Barely. This could send them to 500, which is crazy when they were
oh, man. The Colorado Rockies are looking at that jealously.
I also do have the starters.
All right, give it to me.
It is going to be KCP.
This motherfucker. All right.
Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
He's back.
I love it. Yeah.
Aaron Gordon.
Okay.
Yep.
Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
All right.
Jamal Murray.
We got our
Jamal
squad.
Murray.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Let's go.
He's in for sure. The Pelicans 26-25, and they have lost 8 games in a row, guys. 8 games. Oh, an 8-game losing streak.
Bro, we lost 2, and I am on the edge.
It's so true,
I can't do
man.
no one talked to me for a while.
8 games when you're a title contender. That's that is
You know
rough.
what that means? You're not.
They have had injuries, though. They have been without their guys.
But I'd never want to be in the loser's lounge for that long.
For that long.
You got to pay rent at a certain point in the losers lounge. You're there for 8 games in a row.
I wouldn't even want to look at you if you were in the losers lounge. I know you would not go to the losers lounge that many times.
No, dude, no. I mean, I'd have like my mom would get sick or something.
It's just me soloing these on the show.
Yeah.
The guys are all off today. I don't know what happened. They are coming off a 135-110 loss to the Bucks, so they got blew out by the Bucks just recently. Brandon Ingram is back, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this. Old friend of the show, Christian Clark, successfully shamed Brandon Ingram into coming back.
Really?
Yeah, because he wasn't missing. Christian Clark's done a great job. Most plugged-in guy on the Pelicans beat. I mean that sincerely. You know, he dropped the big story last year about, Zion, and then had a story about David Griffin. He's been there. He's had the big Pelican stories. This one, he said, some chatter around the team saying Ingram is probably cleared to play, and he's just taking his time coming back, this or that. No sooner does he drop that, does Brandon Ingram return to the lineup, like a little this, that. Has not been great. He's been dealing with a toe. It's been a toe. Been back for 2 games. He had 22 on 8 of 22 shooting against the Wizards. During this 8-game losing streak, the Pelicans not scoring, 30th ranked offense, 19th ranked defense. Little perspective there. CJ McCollum has been a little bit of a shooting slump, and then Jose Alvarado, 18 points on 4 of 12 shooting against Milwaukee.
Goddamn Nuggets killer.
Minus 33 he was in 29 minutes.
Minus 33.
Holy
Goodness.
I put this out on Twitter, and that game in particular, I had some notes on. I knew they were playing again, so I figured I'd share a little here. The Nuggets did a great job of switching, guarding, and they tried them one-on-one in the first half. A lot of so in the second half, they really tried, and I thought Jose in particular, right as the switch, try to disguise the switch, slip the screen early, and that exchange has to be grabbed. Me and you are guarding, on the perimeter. The moment when you switch is when you're most vulnerable. You have to make sure, okay, you take him now we switch off or whatever. Jose, I thought, did a good job of putting that switch in an ambiguous time, slipping the screener early, and then circling back so it looks like I'm taking a pick and roll that way. As soon as the switch happens, double back the other direction. And he got a bunch of buckets off of that. And tonight, it's one of those things where I'm going to be looking at. Do the Nuggets better prepared for the switch? Not in guarding one-on-one, but guarding the exact handoff of the switch.
First off, that's an incredible pickup. I don't think the Nuggets know that that's what's happening.
Oh, I promise they do.
I don't know.
I promise they do.
You might be the
No,
only one.
I'm telling you, I promise
happening.
they do.
I'm just I'm just thinking he's a baller. He's knocking out everything. He's a Nuggets killer. That's what I credited to. But now that you say that there's some strategy to it,
all right.
I'm going to pay attention
Yeah,
to
dude,
it.
for one time, I'm going to
Now
pay
I
attention
have to
too.
pay attention.
You can hop out. I got some videos on Twitter if you're curious what those look like after the show. You can check them out. Michael Malone, before the game, says the team is only focused, and he's asked a bunch about the trade deadline, a bunch about the last game, this or that. He said, guys, I'm only focused on getting back at playing at a high level and specifically defending at a high level. We've gotten away from that, and we need to get back into that. And with an emphasis of keeping Jose Alvarado out of the paint. Said he's a hard guy to keep out of the paint, and that's our job. When he gets there, we're broken down, so keep him out of the paint. He was also asked about Colin Gillespie. Guys, we have an update on Colin Gillespie.
What?
Isn't this wild?
Gillespie update?
Gillespie has been cleared for
What?
light jogging
Oh.
and light on-court activities.
Man.
Light jogging.
He really messed up his leg.
He didn't.
Unreal.
Some player played
his
with
leg
him in a
really got
pickup.
messed up. That is wild.
I know,
He's
that's
just
taking-
now cleared for light jogging. That's
He said
unreal.
if and he was asked about his availability here. I'm sure with Bones in the headlines, you start to wonder, is Colin an option later on? And he made it sound like no. He didn't say no, but he said, look, if he's available to play this season, we'll welcome him back. But the team is not putting any pressure or expectations on him in that regard. So I don't think this is a Colin's been looking good lately, man. With trade Bones, you can put him right in there.
Colin's lightly jogging. Better get rid of Bones.
Yeah. But he did say, by the way, that the team loves having him around and that he's really fit in with the team. Want to point that out. So.
There has to be something to it, though, because this is a guy in a two-way that did not even get to play. Usually those guys fall off or they're just not even discussed
Get rid of him.
anymore.
He looked
Greg
great.
Winnington.
He's actually on the team.
Yeah.
You could see him in all the
was
he's traveling.
Yeah.
He's actually a part of the team. So there has to be something too. This guy really means something to the organization.
He looked like Summer League Chris Paul, man. I don't know. We'll see.
I love it.
He did.
we have Dame Lillard and Chris Paul on the roster. This
Chris
is
Paul.
incredible.
Summer League Chris Paul. I didn't say
This is a wild one, man. I did not realize he was Chris Paul.
Summer League Chris Paul.
we'll move on now to Bones, who it's been in reports, including from Mike Singer, that the Nuggets have explored trades for him, including that they feel they have a trade if they should choose. They have one for a first-round pick, and that's there. We've talked about this in previous shows, so if you missed it, don't forget DNVR Nuggets podcast. This also becomes a podcast that you can listen to in any podcast feeds. We prefer you listen on Spotify, but wherever you want to listen. And we talked about it. But tonight, what I want to talk about is Eric and I were talking.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes we don't just talk Nuggets on the show. We'll talk it in real life like two friends.
Yeah, or two friends.
That's maybe doing too
that
much.
part bumped me a little bit.
Two coworkers? All right.
Well, I don't like the part. Two workers.
One of the things we thought is the trade deadline's not till next Thursday. You've got a week and a half. You've got a bunch of games between now and then. We haven't actually experimented with to see what does that line. If you're just going to get a first-round pick back, Dev, wouldn't you like to know what your team looks like without Bones? And is it viable, or is it something you could even see Denver doing? If they are committed to this, or even if they're just thinking about it, would you not try to just sit Bones for a couple days and see what your team would look like without him?
I say yes and no. The bad part of doing that is you want to showcase him if there's like truly like some merit to wanting to trade him. If you don't play him at all, they're going to say, yeah, they don't want him anymore. Other teams aren't going to be able to see like, the type of player he is. Yeah, he has a year and a half under his belt of like things that they could go off of, but the numbers aren't good right now. He's in a funk right now. So you want to show that he can play well. He's a player that I think he is going to find himself in this league. Right now it's just a bad fit for that team. But also that means that it's going to be more of guys that are not point guards having to play the backup point guard. That's what I don't want to see. Bruce Brown, while he is good as a serviceable, backup guard, that's not what you want his role to be. Right. That's not what you're going to win a championship with him as. So I do think that I wouldn't want to see that. I don't.
I know, but that's what they're going to be left with. Like if they trade, we're going to see exclusively that. So yes, if you're really planning on trading Bones, and you don't have an idea, if you're still have a theory of what it's going to look like before you actually go through and you pull the trigger on that, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's borderline I don't know. I mean, it would just be bad business. You have to see what that looks like. I don't know I have no idea what that looks like currently. I mean, you have to do it in a real way. You have to be like, okay, Christian, you're in. You're
2-3 games. We're going to go commit to this.
I got to see it. I really have to see it. You don't have to start that unit or play it longer than you normally would, but yes, show me, because at this point in time, the thought of just trading Bones for a pick and essentially just, like I said, kicking the can down the road, you're not adding to your team and you're not making your team better in any way, is a terrible idea to me. So I want to show me.
You know what you would see in that situation? You would find reasons why it's better. You're going to say maybe the defense looks better in this role.
I mean,
but you're going to miss offense. You're not going to have any.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. Yeah. That's the thing. It's if we can be yo, look, it's not right. There's no offense.
Yeah.
Then that's okay, don't trade the guy.
Yeah, the continuity is definitely not going to be there. And with Bones, from day one, you have to take the good with the bad. That's the type of player that he is.
For sure.
So it's kind of crazy that everyone said that, everyone has this idea, but now that things are bad, no one's taking that. They're not taking that. They're just kind of giving up on the whole idea.
Here's the thing. You can't do this before anything happens, right? If there's no trade rumors and there's nothing going on, in that capacity, you can't sit a guy. And it's why am I sitting? We just want to rest you for a couple days.
They sat MPJ. They sat everybody. I mean,
they haven't benched MPJ.
There have been times where he wasn't getting in. They've done this with everybody. Why Bones is he has to be played every single time. And I don't think there's Michael Malone has not shown any. I mean, we have to play Christian. No, we don't. We have to play it. No, we don't.
Yeah. Well, now with a fully healthy roster, I think it's hard to break in. But once you're in, and Bones was in all of last year, I think it does become harder than to sit a guy and just expect him not to be upset. Nonetheless, I think it is hard to not rock the boat with a player of Bones' caliber and just sit him early. But my point is, now these rumors are all out in the open. There's no. They're it's a conversation. Everybody we see it, they see it. It's very clear. I'm not saying that it is going to happen. Bones is as good as gone. I'm just saying that when there's rumors out there, at least okay, there's probably some conversation in some capacity. So it does become a little bit easier of like, obviously, you know that trades have been discussed about you. We don't know what we're going to do, but we do want to take a couple games. We're going to sit you a couple games and like at that. So I just think that it would make sense. I'm with you. I feel confident that the Nuggets. I'm not saying I think it's a smart move or a bad move. I'm confident that Jamal Murray moving into that role and you go Brown and Brown next to him. Like I'm like that should be a good lineup. It should be. But I sure would like to see it before you
show it to me.
Before you like trade a player of Bones' caliber for something else down the line. I would love to see it. So I would like it. I don't think it's going to happen though. I think Bones plays tonight a lot.
I mean, if you want to trade the guy, like what if he gets hurt? Like why would you play him if you're?
I don't think Denver probably feels like we have to. I mean,
I'm saying like if you genuinely are trying to, they do this all the time. You see guys. They come out, they're like, oh, why is so-and-so not playing? They're like, oh,
he's on the trade.
Jay
Crowder's been doing this for 50 games.
Yeah, dude. Like, if you are sincere about trading him, there is no universe that you should play him. Like, you can't.
Does he play tonight?
We're going to find out how serious they are about trading him.
It might be true.
I think if they were very, very serious, this was a game that they could have easily set Jamal Murray in. Like they set the load management, they put it out there.
Yeah, it was
that they were going to, at least there was the option of it, and they decided not to. I think that means a little bit because they could have just easily had this as a showcase game for Bones.
Yeah,
and that would have been good for them in any way because he's going to have a good game. If you put him in that light with Jokic and the starters, he's going to have good minutes.
Yeah.
It's just going to make sense. But the fact that they didn't, I know that means it's like on the fence still.
Okay. Let's move on now. Again, this is a developing story. I don't want anybody to think that this is a done deal or anything. But look, trade rumors don't always come out this loudly, this early. So we'll just see. There's probably a lot of smoke. So
I mean, this is as smoky as a trade gets before it happens. I mean, it's everywhere. Bones changed his Twitter bio. Like
he changed it back, I'm told.
He didn't fully change it back. He put hashtag Nuggets PG in there. Before it had a whole litany of things.
Really?
Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't know if you knew this or not. Bones very online. Definitely heard the chatter about people seeing that. I saw like impassioned goodbye letters to
so
Bones. It's been brutal, man. Like I'm telling you, ever since Saturday or whatever day it was, like it's just been like I just woke up into this world. I'm like, where am I? What is this? Like
you got a little
brutal.
You have a little vertigo at the moment. Guys, I don't know if you were watching the Association last night. There were some good games on, but the one that caught my attention, I didn't even watch it live. I caught the very end of this. Luka was getting into it, playing against the Detroit Pistons. The stat line was absurd. 53 points, 29 and a half minutes or something like that. Just absolutely dominant. But after the game, and he was a comeback win, by the way. They were down in the fourth quarter. They come back. I want you to keep an eye on Luka talking to the Pistons bench here.
And galloping in to lead the way was Luka. And this is how the night started, and this is how the night is going to end with the Detroit bench and
then
Luka
he comes back. Somebody else
exchanging words.
Well,
Who are you?
Don't want to get a technical right now, given that he's at 11 for the year and you're suspended at 16.
Bro, first off, who the hell is that? Who is that coach?
Dude, it's so dumb. You're an assistant coach on the Pistons. You're terrible.
What are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? Like,
the best player in the league.
And then after the game, here's his interview. Let's play his interview. Earmuffs for the children.
It seems like there was a little extra chirping going on with the bench tonight. Did that impact
it was their assistant coach. He started chirping in the first quarter. So they didn't like when I chirped back. Now they said play basketball. If they're going to chirp at me, I'm going to chirp back. I ain't scared.
Luka to me is first team all don't poke the bear.
Oh,
He's
man.
a great player, and he just seems to be at his absolute apex best whenever anybody shit talks him. He might be my number one. Like, I don't think he's the best player, but he's the number one guy where it's like, guys, just chill, man. Just play. Just play.
Don't say anything to him at all because he wants all the smoke.
He wants it all.
He showed that, like, in
No
many
blink.
ways. And you go back, this is a young player. You go back to the playoff series where he's trash talking Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
After a loss.
After a loss.
After being on the brink of elimination, he was like, so I'm telling you, there's never a more badass moment when you lose a game. They were one game away from elimination, and he just was the most confident person on earth. And I'm like, dude, they just killed
so much trash. Like, there's so many pictures that you could just get of him just like in their face.
Oh,
like just wanting it. He wants it.
That picture of him looking at Devin Booker's face, smiling, is iconic. Yeah, it's like he's not just unflappable. He is something beyond that.
He is something beyond that.
He's like so unflappable. It actually turns him into like another player, like another like Mr. Hyde. He just goes for it.
So to me, Luka, I mean, again, I don't think this is equal to are they the best player. It's just like some players have that where it's like you poke a moot in him and it somehow brings the best out of him. He's on that. I'm curious who else is on that list in your guys' opinion in the NBA. I have my own list, but I want to hear you guys.
Dame Lillard.
I agree.
Oh my God.
Actually had this one too. Damian Lillard is like, he's a great player, and I don't fear him the way I fear Luka, but I do agree that like you don't want to get in a pissing contest with him.
No, I mean, again, like that, it was a bad shot. The image of him after that, same thing. He wasn't even cheering. He was just like,
just trash talking. And also, he's just calm. He is smooth. Calm. I think that's what the difference is with him. Like, he's just going to just destroy you in every way that he could without big trash talking. But he's going to throw in those subtle comments here and there. Like, when he had the I want to say it was the bubble, when he, like, went crazy on them, and then he's like, I want more. Like, the Chris Haynes interview after and things like that. The celebrations are just, they're different.
It's a good celebration.
That is a good celebration.
Good
Every single time he goes to the crowd and he's just like quieting them down and things like that. But like his is not like a disrespectful. It's
Except
just like I'm here.
It's like
I feel like it's more of a you earned this.
But it's deeply disrespectful.
Yeah, it is.
It's not outwardly disrespectful, but it just like absolutely like diminishes your existence. Yeah.
All right, who else? Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear players.
I mean,
Kobe was the ultimate of this, and
people
Jordan.
are gonna make it seem like it's not that anymore just because he looks a little bit different. But LeBron was that guy for a very long time.
Can we have the image of LeBron getting fouled the other day?
Oh no, that was crazy. See, but that's the idea that you go with. But you got to remember, like when he was like destroying the Raptors every time.
That was when then.
Yeah, but he's still in the NBA.
I've got him on my list here.
He's
in that
He's off the list.
Do you know what he did to Joakim Noah and Deshaun Stevenson?
That player's retired. I don't even never heard of that guy.
LeBron's out. Retired him. He's there. He's up there.
LeBron's not this high up my list, but he's still a guy that I would be like, if the Nuggets were in a playoff series, do I want, Jamal talking
I would just
shit
whisper
to him in game one?
Foul into his ear, and he would just fall. No, Klay Thompson.
Oh, it's a great one. This is a great one.
Watching him just absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Just erode the very concept of the Memphis Grizzlies when he was talking.
You're right,
and, stuff, like,
and then gets down on it. Like, you're right. This is a great one.
Yeah, no, these are my people.
Yeah, mine's is Curry.
Both of them.
He's pissed off. First off, I just know he's never going to miss again.
Yeah.
But also, if you've got him to that point, you've done something like completely wrong. Like you done slapped the preacher's daughter or something like that. Like he's that mad, and he's just such a nice guy, but he's pissed off. So like, if you get him there, that's a guy that I fear.
Here's another one that I think is the worst player that would make it on this list. Anthony Edwards. I think he's got a little of this like he wants. I just think he's like a pure vibes guy. So if you get him like on that level,
you watch
like,
Hustle.
I was about to say when he was talking to Bo Cruz, he said that Spain sounds like it sucks. Yeah. Top tier.
You don't like Edwards one?
No, I mean I think he could get there one day, but not.
He's a hot or cold player, and I just feel like he's at his best.
Turn it into a street fight. Who will make you want to fight him every single time, so you don't want to get him
Green,
Patrick Beverly.
But he gets sung too often.
Dude, but when he gets there
all the time.
No, but he has his moments. It's just you don't respect him in the same way.
He's like a little kid. You're like
he's gonna get you. He's under your skin the entire time.
Jimmy Butler, I had on my list as well as a guy that's like, you know what, just let him be. Ja Morant a little bit, although Ja's like, to me, he's in the same category as Pat Bev, where it's like
he is.
He takes a lot of L's, but he keeps punching. So,
he's a chirper.
He's a chirper, so he's not going to stop. Same with like Dylan Brooks. He chalks all the time.
If
it beats you, it hurts. But he also takes a lot of L's.
I mean, it's like you'd be like, oh, Chris Paul, except for like, he's a clown.
Jamal definitely on the Nuggets would be up there. I kind of feel like Bones is up there too.
Yeah, we saw the
hot or cold, but I do feel like Bones kind of gets in a zone if you talk shit to him.
For sure. Like, who was it? Who were they playing the other day when the guy got in Bones' face and got right back in it? You remember? Was it against the Knicks?
Yeah, who was it? You're right. Much bigger player.
Everybody in the NBA is a much bigger player than Bones.
But it was like a big or something.
I mean, it might be too soon to say, but Embiid is up there.
Embiid
Embiid is,
shut up.
No lie, I don't want to piss him off ever again. Also, do you remember like the young Embiid when he would like trash talk on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that? Like he would put his location as like the crime scene and things like that. Like I
He talks trash, but there's a
never
difference between talking trash and does he like at his best when he's talked trash too. All right, let's open up DraftKings. Let's make some quick bets here. We could do this all night. Oh my! Super chats.
Let's get to those.
I love
Dude, the real one. Dude, people need this.
Let's say Bones goes through a role confusion and shooting slump. Then it's trade him for a guy who not even help another team win. This will hurt 10 times worse than Bull.
You're so right.
You might be right. I don't think the team's just like, look, a team would know this logic as well. Take that.
Yeah, we don't know. There's something on. We don't know what it is.
Do you wish Bones was included in the trade for KCP instead of Monte? It's a good question. It's a good question. It's tough, man.
It's tough.
It's really tough.
Listen, I mean, if we had Monte, if we traded Bones for Monte, I think I would be honestly okay with it. So
how do you know that the Wizards didn't want that? How do we know?
Bing, bing, bing. All right, let's get some bets in.
All right.
So Denver
Quickly, no Pelicans bets, just Nuggets bets.
All right. Denver is 7-point favorites in this game. This is a team that's on a 6-game losing streak.
Okay.
I don't like the 7. I'm not going to go with the 7. What I will do is go the under in this game. I'm going to do the under on the Pelicans only.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to score a bunch in this game. They have it at 112.5 for the team totals. If you go to team props, I'm going to go under on that. I just don't like it. Don't think that they'll get it. As far as the player points for Denver, one that I really like that stands out to me is Jamal Murray at over 20 points. I think he comes back. He's going to play well. I just think this is a good spot for him. On the combos, I like Aaron Gordon's points and rebounds. I like those together.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to rebound big in this game. I think this is a huge bounce back spot for Nikola Jokic. So just give me all of his bets. I really do.
Points, rebounds, and assists?
Love it.
46 and a half?
I love it. But I do think he's going to get a triple-double. I think that's the one that I like more. I would actually lock that in.
The triple-double?
Nikola Jokic triple-double is the one that I truly like the most.
Okay.
But I do think this is a game that he is going to bounce back in and just have a monster game.
Triple-double is plus 160.
That's it. It's so good.
I like it. You know what? I might put a little double unit on that one. I kind of like it as well.
Doctor.
I do like that one. I'll tell you my lock, what I like. Michael Porter Jr. threes. It's at 2.5 and it's plus money again. He's got a little rest, over the last week. I just feel you're back at home. He looked good to me the other night. Like his shooting was kind of in a zone. I think he's going to shoot. I think he's hitting 4 threes tonight. Ooh. So I like that bet specifically. And then I like Yoke points more than I like Yoke points, rebounds, and assists. I feel like it might be a points night. Do you know, last time they played Valanciunas, he took 3 threes, I think, right away. Remember, he took a lot of them.
Is he taking
any threes tonight?
Yeah, he takes threes, for sure.
Is he going to hit a 3?
Yes, of course.
All right, well, there you go. That's the bet. Do you have anything, Eric?
No, I mean, I'm putting the same game parlay together. I have, I'm going to add a Jokic 3 to there because I love that. That's always my favorite bet. All right, so my same game parlay I've got, which gives me a plus 475, is Michael Porter Jr. 2 threes, Jamal Murray 2 threes, Nikola Jokic points, rebounds, assists at 45, 1 Jokic steal, and 1 Jokic three-pointer made, plus 475. Going to lock that in. Delicious. Let's go.
Steals, 1 for Jokic, huh? That's the one that meme, and that's making me a little nervous, but I'll go for it. Why not?
Why not? It's only money.
I mean, it's only money. I'm with you. I'm in on it. I didn't take the other one. I've only got mine up to plus 330, but you know what? That's good enough for me.
That's good, baby.
All right, everybody. Nuggets need a bounce back. We need the Nuggets to bounce back.
I don't care about the Nuggets. I need a bounce back.
We'll see you guys right afterwards. Hit that like on the way out.